Good morning friends, myself Dr. Ellen Ghatge. Today we are going to discuss Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960. On the last lecture we have considered the need and importance of cooperative laws, and as we have studied the information related to need and importance of cooperative law for the betterment of members and society, and we have also considered since last 116 years we are running cooperative movement in our country, and for the development of cooperative movement in our country we have made several laws. Before considering the laws and importance of it, we may have to consider, being a agricultural country, being a developing country like India, there is greater need of act, special act for the betterment of members as well as the society. And we have also considered in the last lecture the why we need cooperative act, and with the help of cooperative act we can get several benefits for the betterment of common man, benefits for the development of members of the cooperative institution, benefits for the development of board of directors, members of board of directors and authorities of the cooperative institutions, isn't it? For overall development of a country, in a developing country like India, there is greater need of cooperative act. And as earlier I also told you that with the help of first Cooperative Act 1904 deals us the details regarding the need and importance as well as provisions of cooperative societies establishment to the implementation of cooperative institutions in our country. And here we may have to consider the specific features of Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act. While considering nature of Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960, we must know the brief history of cooperative movement in our country. As earlier by all the times I have given information to you that since 1904 we are running cooperative movement in our country. Several type of cooperative institutions we have established at present. Lakhs of cooperative institutions are working in our country at present, and cooperative institutions give justice to the common man as well as poor people as well as the members and overall development of a country, isn't it? And with the help of first Cooperative Society Act 1904 we are developing cooperative movement in our country. And while considering the nature of Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960, one thing is clear: in 1919 the subject cooperation has transferred under state government activity, and after all central government has given freedom to state governments to prepare separate laws for the betterment of societies in which the various states are established. In 1957, central government has appointed T.K. Raj Committee and G.M. Lad Committee. Both these committees have recommended that separate law should be prepared by all states for the betterment and development of cooperative institutions in the particular states. And that's why in 1960 we have constructed Maharashtra Cooperative Act 1960, and this act was came into implementation since 26 January 1962. While considering the nature of Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960, this act is applicable for Maharashtra state only, and though this law is applicable for Maharashtra state, at present the provisions laid down in this particular act are applicable to all over India. In other words, we can say all the states in India can take the guidelines included in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960. This act has 67 articles. This act is divided into two parts. First part is related to the membership, authorities of the cooperative institutions, subsidy and financial help to the cooperative institutions, properties of the cooperative institutions, annual general meeting of the cooperative institution, and second part is related to cooperative audit. The problems arises in the cooperative institutions, how the problem should be tackled, what will be the role played by cooperative law, and how we can take the elections of the cooperative institutions, and other some things, whichever problems arises in cooperative institutions while running the cooperative institution in practice. The specific court has also established, cooperative court has been established, and according to the norms of cooperative law, cooperative court, we may have to develop the cooperative institutions day-to-day functioning and management also. While considering another most important thing in respect of nature, this law has prepared in 1960. After all, as per need, we have made these several amendments in it. First amendment was made in 1969, later on 1975, later on 1976, 77, 79, as well as 82, 83, and just in 2009 we have made several amendments in it. Why I am telling the information regarding the amendment? Whichever Maharashtra Cooperative Society Act was prepared in 1960, the provisions laid down in that particular act we will consider step by step. But one thing should be clear, that whichever amendments, whichever bylaws, whichever provisions have been made in this act in respect of variety of contents, these provisions are not final. As per need and requirement of revision of such particular act, such particular atom, such particular content, we have made the respective changes in it. And now we are going to consider important provisions laid down in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960. Friends, Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960 is most important act, not only for the benefits of Maharashtrian people, but this act at present is useful for all the people, those who are running cooperative institutions in our country. Whichever amendments we have made in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960 are applicable to all the states in our country. All the states are taking consultation of such type of act and the provisions laid down in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960. Now step by step we are considering the provisions, important provisions laid down in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960. First provision is provision regarding the registration of cooperative societies. Friends, in a developing country like India, it is highly impossible to complete the procedure of establishment of cooperative institution in our country, because in our country at the time of 1960, 50% of the people are illiterate, and literate people also do not know why cooperative movement is necessary, and that's why awareness program is most important, and that's why registration process and pre-registration process, the efforts have to be taken by the chief promoter of the cooperative institution regarding the establishment of cooperative institution are most important. And that's why how to register cooperative societies in our country as well as in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960, article number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 deals us the provisions regarding the membership. This act clears that why the provision of registration is necessary, why registration is necessary for the cooperative institutions, then how registration process should be completed, what type of cooperative institution should be established, and the liabilities, the determination of liabilities, limited and unlimited liabilities principle, has been also included in the registration process of cooperative institutions. In this particular provision in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, several conditions regarding the registration of the cooperative institutions have been given. It means these conditions are related to who can make the membership of the cooperative institution, who can establish the cooperative institutions, how cooperative institutions should be established, and how we can determine the area of cooperative institutions, as well as how we can run the cooperative institutions, what is the procedure of registration of the cooperative institutions, and how the rules and regulations of the cooperative institution should be followed by the chief promoter and members, as well as members of the board of directors, for the registration process, as well as rules and regulations laid down in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act. According to the registration process, how the registration process should be completed for the development of cooperation, the article number 9 clears, article number 5 and 9 clears how the registration process should be completed. What are the steps in the establishment and completing the registration process, and which of the activities to be undertaken by the chief promoter. First of all, he has to fill up the application form. Then he has to determine the bylaws regarding the particular cooperative institutions, as well as he has to obey the rules and regulations, as well as the registrar's suggestions regarding the registration of the cooperative institutions, how the classification of the cooperative institution has to be made, how the share should be allotted to the members. In this way, pre-registration process and post-registration process, pre-registration process and post-registration process, how it is important, friends, for the development of the cooperative institution. The Maharashtra state has implemented a particular provisions regarding the registration of the cooperative institutions, and this first particular efforts have been taken by Maharashtra government, as well as the registrar of the cooperative institutions of the state. They have made particular provisions in it, and Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act gives detailed information regarding the provisions of registration and pre-registration process of the establishment of the cooperative institution. This is most important. Without registration process, we do not run the cooperative institutions, and for that purpose, two steps included in the registration process: pre-registration process and registration process. Whichever steps have to be taken by the chief promoter. The provisions have been given in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960, and that's why these provisions have to be considered clearly. The person or the chief promoter or the members of the cooperative institution should know the rules and regulation provisions regarding the establishment of cooperative institutions. Without knowing the provisions, norms of registration as well as pre-registration process, we must know the norms. Without norms, we do not become successful for the registration of the cooperative institution. Without registration of cooperative institution, we do not run the cooperative institution, and without cooperative institution, we do not develop the common man's economic welfare. We cannot develop the rural people. We cannot develop members' welfare for the betterment of entire community of Maharashtra states. That's why the provisions regarding registration process of the cooperative societies, which have been given in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960, are most important. That's why we may have to read clearly what are the provisions laid down in Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, under which articles, article 4 to 9, clears the provisions regarding this, and all these provisions are most important for the establishment and registration of the cooperative societies for the betterment of common man, members of the board of directors, authorities of the board of directors, and also the staff of the cooperative institutions. And thus the provisions regarding the registration of the cooperative societies are most important. Each and every provision should be written one page matter, and for one page matter we may have to classify the steps involved in each and every provision, each and every atom. For example, just today we have discussed provisions regarding the registration. What is the need of registration? What steps have to be taken? In which article we may have to registration process started? How we can start the registration process? Before starting registration process, pre-registration process, which type of efforts have to be taken by chief promoter of the cooperatives, and in the registration process which steps we have to complete it. All these steps we may have to know with the help of provisions regarding registration of cooperative institutions. The remaining provisions we may have to consider on the next lecture.